On Church Street in Burlington, Vermont, you'll find the most recent expansion of Vermont Distillers, where you can get a taste of a family business poured by a member of that family. He's been there since they opened in 2012, and today he's in our studio. Hello, and welcome to Spirits of Vermont. I'm Dan O'Brien, and I'm here with Dominic Metcalfe, and you're here with Vermont Distillers, which, as I understand, that's your family's. Your father, Ed Metcalfe Jr.?
Yeah, he's the owner. Here's our flagship product, the maple cream liqueur. We have a whole family of liqueurs as well as the Catamount vodka as well.
Quality. So you guys opened up in 2012. You guys have been in business for 5 years. How's it going?
It's been pretty good. I mean, it's always constantly growing, I would say. We have our store on Church Street, which is pretty big for us right now. Partner with Smuggler's Notch Distillery, who's another even bigger name within the local spirit scene. And our set of products combined with theirs works very well together. And even just as the distillery ourselves, we're currently renovating the distillery and expanding quite a bit. So, say exciting things in the future as well.
That's excellent. And I mean, I can tell that you guys could use an expansion because, I mean, you guys are distributing to Alabama, Florida, Illinois, Louisiana, Maine, Minnesota, Mississippi, Nevada, North Dakota, Oregon, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin, and Massachusetts. That's impressive.
So most of that is just the maple cream liqueur, which is kind of our main production product. So this we make way more than anything else. So really, in general, we're in Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine, I'd say, in the most widespread fashion, where those other states will be a chain of stores here and there.
And how did y'all get your start in this industry?
So my father, who's the owner of the business, he owned one of the first wineries in Vermont, the North River Winery, which we started in the 80s. And then kind of got sick of that after a while, so went on to a new venture, running a gift shop where they currently have the distillery tasting room. And he entered a business competition, won $10,000, which was basically his startup money for the distillery. So launched the first product with that and kind of grew from there.
Cool. That's a nice story. He really worked his way up there.
Yeah.
And I know, so is it just like a family operation? Do you employ more locals in the town that you're based in?
At this point, I'd say we have about 10 or 15 employees between tasting room. I think we have about 5 tasting room people, and then another 2 or 3 in production. So right now, I mean, it's still a fairly small operation. Mostly my brother is kind of the head of the production. My father's kind of behind the scenes business things, where I'm more the northern Vermont marketing guy. Being down there, it can be hard for them to get up this way.
Yeah, especially with such a large concentration of people up here in Burlington.
Yeah, it's really the place to be for selling booze.
Some proper business savvy, I see. And as you know from your partnership with Smuggler's Notch Distillery, do you kind of see a growing liquor industry in Vermont? Would you say that there's a craft liquor and craft spirits scene growing in Vermont?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that, kind of mirroring the whole beer industry. When we started, there was about a dozen, I believe. Where now I think there's 19 local distilleries. So even in the last 5 years, the number is close to doubled.
So what are some of the challenges that Vermont Distillers and you and your family have faced over the years in this business? Or has it just been kind of smooth sailing?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of work that goes into it. I'd say just finding people to cover all the aspects of the business that need to be covered and not trying to put too much on yourself, realizing that you need to have other people supporting the business that are going to take care of things, because just one person or even a family, it's kind of a lot to cover every single aspect of the business. And we do work with distributors, which helps a lot for that. I mean, they're good challenges to have, but definitely can be a lot of work.
And is it difficult trying to find people that have the qualifications that you would want to work for your distillery in Vermont? Or is that like a sector that there's a lot of like already trained and?
I mean, at this point, no one we're hiring has to be too highly qualified. So it's more like if they're a good people person, or a lot of the people that work in the tasting room and in the production are family friends too. So not just people that they went and hired, they're local people we've known for a while too. So that helps out, I'd say.
Absolutely, getting that good network together and
Yeah.
knowing reliable folks, that's great. Helping to employ the community.
No, exactly.
With your expansion, have you guys ever had any problems with kind of like filling demand, having enough supply for the demand?
Yeah, I mean, they're constantly making, I'd say, all of our products just to even supply the Vermont state stores. Like there's pretty much whenever I need to place an order for our store up here, so we gotta make sure that we have everything. It's not just like a given that we have every size, and we do multiple sizes too, so that's even more to take into account for them. But you know, overall, I'd say we're just keeping up with our current area that we're distributing to. So I think the expansion should help us build on that too.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Really great. And if someone was interested in getting to the Vermont spirits distilled kind of like scenery, getting into the liquor business, particularly in Vermont, which is an area that you and your family have all this knowledge in,
Yeah.
what advice would you give them?
I mean, I'd say get involved with the Distilled Spirits Council of Vermont, who is basically a group of all the local producers who work together to work with the state and our representatives for improving the laws to suit our needs, which they've been very helpful with. And I mean, just visit some of the other local distilleries, see how they do things. Obviously, they're not going to give you all their secrets, but you know, just by getting your eyes in there, you can probably pick up a little bit too.
Would you say that the state of Vermont, you know, the government and all that is like very receptive to this burgeoning liquor industry, or are they kind of standoffish about it?
I would say that they're very helpful. In my view, Vermont seems to be one of the best places to be a producer in the United States, where other states you won't be allowed to sell on site at your distillery, you won't be able to do tastings, where in Vermont you're allowed to do tastings, sell on site. Plus the state network of liquor stores is huge. They just are really our biggest supporters. If you come out with a new product, they'll at least try selling it. If not, sell it full time. So, I mean, basically on at the store level, once you prove a product is worthy of being on the shelves, it's pretty much there for until it proves otherwise. So I'd say Vermont's a great place to be doing it.
Great. It's great having you in the studio. I wish your family and your business the best of luck with all your future endeavors.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show this morning.
All right.